in paranormal science crime logs on 10/11/2020 at that table over there earlier today. I had my windows open and I was just parked in my vehicle, and it was like, I think it was Frank and Rocco and his girlfriend, Rocco's girlfriend, I mean. They were sitting at the table, and then all of a sudden, it was just, I don't know, either my sequence jumped, but our sequences parted, and cloak went up, and I was cloaked from their presence. And the reality, somehow it just, I don't know, it's almost like a razor blade. You take a razor blade, and you just, whatever, you split it, and they were gone. But again, I'm sitting in Cubet, C-U-B-E-T, so it is really easy and dangerously easy my entire life to section me off and remove me from the rest of human, but that was supposed to be my benefit as REQUIM and the RAPTURE. REQUIM is where you know the legends beforehand. You know, based on when I arrive, birthed, and when I go through Linda's body cavity, if it's shaking as I'm coming through her cavity, it's time and space that they've already ripped open and thrown me into the wrong reality, or the wrong tunnel, or the wrong dimension. I don't know how you want to, as humans, I mean, these are things that we teach you. So that's how I arrived. What I don't understand is why, when cloaking and removal of one little girl to move her to be with the other, you know, epsilon, we'll say to epsilon, as the two etas, it's eta eta. I mean, and then, well, I mean, it's actually zeta eta, but, and then we come with the trifecta, the triple epsilon afterwards. So, I mean, I don't understand why I, as human, year 42, have to explain this to someone at POW camp. I mean, like, I'm prisoner of war. The day I arrive, rocky entry, because Linda's body cavity is, like, you know, I mean, her and Niklaus's mother aren't even in the same reality, clearly. But he and I have to arrive in the same dimension on the same double plumb bob for that special celestial rapture thingamajiggy that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. I have no idea. Nobody's ever mentioned it here. They don't teach those things while you're under being oppressed. I do remember on the phone call, though, they said that in other places around the world, they were advancing themselves dangerously in science, in a thing that we refer to as science, purposely breaking and taking more of the pie than was originally offered as a settlement. They were taking more of the pie than they were purposely breaking and then playing victim and then confusing everybody, because everybody's like, wait a minute, no. We're the victim and you are not refugees. You are the aggressors for certain, because first you broke Linda and Lou and whatever else you did with Mariah. That's 2 centuries. Now the Centurion comes in a cavity that's vibrating and bouncing, almost rips her mother's whatever to shreds. And there's a recovery period. And then what? We play, I mean, like, I am POW. First of all, I'm the prisoner of war. I'm the piece above the water. And then I have these things that are now here illegally saying that they're refugees. I'm already prisoner of war in New York because you hurt my grandmother and my mother on New York soil. So by the time I arrive, I have seniority for certain based on the requiem and the rapture of my biblical appearance and my celestial being, which your home territory, where you originate from, already knew. And now you're claiming refugee, which we don't accept, not in New York and not anywhere in the vicinity that you could become a harmful candidate whatsoever to my personal appearance. You are glued to wherever you belong, wherever God placed you originally. While I'm trying to get my piece together because you already harmed me and my 2 centuries before I got here. That was crystal clear. So how, if I am the only POW allowed, along with my double plumb bob being Niklaus, if we're the 2 Nicks of time, Nicole and Niklaus, for the St. Nicholas Santa Claus, how did I get anything that is Indo-Asian, Polynesian, whatever, who are advancing themselves in technology and all sorts of dangerous things that they are not, according to Rapture and Requiem, allowed? They've already taken more pie than they were offered, which is now stealing. And now the timing piece is here, and now they're playing victim. We don't accept victim. We don't take you as refugee. You're not helping me. Your presence here is more harassment, and it's locking up the U.S. justice system because now you're playing like majority and minority and like, she's so powerful, we're so frightened of her. Really? Now you're playing victim. Great. Not allowed to happen. We said no refugees in the Continental 15 postage stamps of the Continental Congress that was European white like myself, and we were not accepting any further whatever. You did enough damage 2 centuries before my birth. Everything was locked tight. No refugees and no POW. No, I'm the only POW with Niklaus, and you have to get the 2 POWs together for double epsilon purpose. Now, why does it take a human 42 years to get that one part right? And in fact, you allowed the direct enemy of my being hurt 2 prisoners of war centuries before my appearance, my mother and my grandmother, at least, and now my appearance, and you still have not gotten their part right in they're not allowed in, they have no priority whatsoever, we don't accept refugees, and I don't take excuses or harassment from the things that are here illegally, harming everyone more than they could possibly know. So now, where is help? I'm just curious. Because it seems to be like the devaporating help. New York seemed to be a lot more of Continental Congress, like myself. Now it seems to be other countries just taking over and nobody's saying anything or doing anything. Like as if we didn't have a strategic management plan already put in place, U.S. mariners. I mean, hello. Do we have our own, like, ground troops? I'm just curious. How do you mobilize such a thing to protect oneself? I asked the same thing in 1980.